And welcome to the next episode of Fearless Emma Takes on the World. I'm Dad.
I'm Emma.
And we have a treat for you today.
Aww.
So before we start with that, Emma, it is April 4th,
Easter.
2021. It is Easter Sunday. And we celebrated Easter last night by going to Shelter Cove Church, celebrating Jesus and his resurrection.
Yeah.
And with that,
And there was also baptized people.
that was definitely very emotional for a lot of people. People just on the spot, professing their life to Christ and being baptized, which was very, very cool. In addition to that being cool, also, too, we were provided with Chick-fil-A as we walked in the door. Like, good afternoon, Mr. Spears. And by the way, here is your Chick-fil-A. Well, fantastic. I to be honest with you, I could handle if Saturday services were like that every Saturday. I would go to church. I'd go to church every Saturday night.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. The only interesting thing and unfortunate thing is there was no waffle fries, Emma.
Nope, but you got sauce.
There was sauce. And did they have Chick-fil-A sauce? I didn't see it last night.
I got honey barbecue.
Yeah, but they did have sauces. So they were very, very well prepared last evening, But I will say that to one up the game a bit, it would have been good to have some waffle fries. So, but we were able to go, like you said, that there was baptisms going last night, which was great.
And the Chick-fil-A was still warm.
And the Chick-fil-A was still warm, Emma. It was one of those things that they had them in those nice pouches. Oh, it was so good.
Just open it right up.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody else have had the Chick-fil-A sandwiches where you can just smell it in the package. So, we talk about that's not really what this podcast is about, but one of the great things though is that we did get to enjoy some Chick-fil-A last evening.
Yep.
Now, like you said, you were asking before the podcast, why don't they do it on Sundays? And I had to remind you that Chick-fil-A is not open on Sundays. It's only open Monday through Saturday. One, because the Sabbath, they recognize how important Sundays are, the people that own Chick-fil-A. That's why they're not open on Sundays.
They recognize church?
They recognize church. They recognize that they give their employees an opportunity to go to church.
But what about later in the day?
Well, I mean, they could open up, but I think that that way they give their staff an opportunity to kind of rest and recover and get ready for the rest of the week. So that's why they're not open on Sundays. But with them not being open on Sundays, that's why they can't have them Sunday morning. So, like we talked, well, maybe they could bring in something else. They could bring in Popeyes chicken sandwiches. But I'm going to tell you what, everybody, it's like, East Coast, West Coast, between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. I'll take Chick-fil-A.
McDonald's and Burger King. I'll take McDonald's.
You'll take McDonald's. I'll take Chick-fil-A. I'll take Chick-fil-A for the win.
Oh, I love Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's better.
So we had that last night, and so today is Easter Sunday, and so you've gotten plenty of candy, so you're a little bit on a candy high, but that's okay.
A headache.
Well, maybe we need to slow down a bit on that candy.
Oh, the sugar.
But we're here today to talk about the next episode of
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
And this episode was titled The Star-Spangled Man. So I'll give the basic plot or the basic premise. It's really a continuation of the previous episode because this is a 6-part, I'd say it's really a 6-part movie, which is kind of neat. It's, 6 parts where they're just continuing to move everything forward. And so with that 6 parts, we have part 2. And with that part 2, we have the introduction of Captain America to conclude the first part. And then Captain America kind of comes in and it bleeds over into this next part.
Oh, don't forget about his little friend.
Well, we'll talk about that a little bit. So we see him come in and we see, he's kind of torn, living up to that expectation. You had hit on this last week, like they just plucked somebody out of active duty and then put them in to this position. And I disagreed with you. I said no, that's not going to happen. But they didn't just pluck any average Joe out of there.
It was going to be someone from the army.
It was, and he has a lot of talents. They try to set it up. They try to describe him, in his interview to open up this episode, and so we have that. So it's kind of like we've got these parallel lines going now. We have, the story with Captain America, and we also have the story with Sam and Bucky. So Sam and Bucky are, like I told you, they kind of remind me of Captain America and Iron Man in this very fractured
relationship.
Yep, they both love each other, but they're
also not really close friends, but they're friends.
Well, I think they're fairly close friends. I think that they understand that both of them are working on trying to
save the world.
Yeah, they both have very common goals and interests, and I think that they do like each other. But I think that
since he gave up the shield,
so
he is not happy.
So Bucky's obviously upset with Sam because Sam gave up the Falcon gave up the shield that Steve Rogers had given to him in the previous Avengers movie, because Steve Rogers, Captain America, retired, from playing, and acting as Captain America. Speaking of the new Captain America, we realize that he doesn't have any superpowers. He's not like a super soldier like, the Winter Soldier and Steve Rogers. And in this episode, we also find that
he's not humble.
Well, we'll talk about him too, but we also find that there's more of these super soldiers out there.
Yeah.
The serum that they've given to
Bucky
and Steve Rogers to become these massively strong super soldiers are given to other people too, which is kind of interesting to see that. So we've got that dynamic, and like any good superhero movie, we have a fight scene. This time the fight scene
is on
with a
moving trucks.
on the top of two semi-truck trailers, and they're moving, they're fighting, they're going back and forth.
I'm surprised no one's tripping or falling.
Well, you never know. I don't know how they did it, but I'm waiting I'm kind of curious how the bad guys from the major fight scene in kind of episode or part 1 kind of bleed over into part 2. Because they don't really seem to be the same. They to me, they kind of seem to be two separate villains, so to speak. Because like every fight scene or every superhero movie has to have villains, right?
Yeah, and I'm wondering what the other Avengers are, because we still have some Avengers that are still alive. Like, what's Peter Parker thinking about this? Clint, the Hulk. What are they thinking about it?
Yeah, well, I always wonder that in some of the other superhero movies, when we know that we have a team of superheroes, and where is the Avengers? Where is Nick Fury? Where are all these other people that are in some of these other, where's the rest of the Marvelverse? Where is everybody else? And I think that they're probably on vacation or retired or
what would you think that you're replacing one of their friends?
Well, that's a good question. Peter Parker or Spider-Man was very close to Iron Man. I wonder what his thoughts and feelings are on Captain America. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll find that out in the next Spider-Man movie that's supposed to come out. But we talk about that. Obviously they're trying to find, they're taking the fight to the villains, and it's, good versus evil. And how do we do that? And also, too, at the same time, we see how like any good superhero movie, there's problems amongst the team. There's Sam and Bucky, and then you've got now this new Captain America and his sidekick. What did they call him? Battlestar, something like that.
Yeah, and then when he said that in front of Bucky, he instantly got out of the car.
Yeah. He was. They weren't having it. I think that. The OG superheroes, the Falcon the Falcon and the Winter Soldier aren't too happy with the new guys. And really we find out why Bucky's maybe a little upset that Sam gave up the shield. We thought it was more of, his attachment to Steve, but
because when he was in that therapy session with Sam, he says, well, if Steve was wrong about you, he may have been wrong about me.
Right. So it's kind of like Bucky's Achilles heel. He thinks that he may go back, like he may regress, because and that's even kind of mentioned when they talk to the Isaiah character, the other super soldier from the Korean War, when they go and talk to him. And so Bucky kind of has this feeling like he can never change. He still has flashbacks to when he worked for Hydra, and he was still controlled, and his brain was kind of scrambled. And so there is that concern that he feels that he can go back, maybe drift back to the dark side. And so hopefully that's not going to happen. Hopefully, but when we watch that movie, the Avengers movie with the Winter Soldier, that was, when he was controlled, it was very, very interesting, and very interesting dynamic when they went after him to try to control him.
And he got away.
Yep. So I think that we see that dynamic. So it's more of, I think that's why Bucky's upset that Sam gave up the shield, because he feels that any decision that Steve Rogers or the previous Captain America made may be a poor reflection on Bucky, and has Bucky really changed. And in part one, you see that he has tried to do everything that he can to change.
He's trying making amends with the people he hurt.
Yep.
And he made friends with a son he killed. Yeah,
the father of the son. So you have a very big problem with this the new Captain America.
Oh, I hate him.
Very big problem, and I think that a lot of people probably do. So, what are your concerns with the current Captain America?
Way I don't get it is how everyone in the world, mainly like how they all just accept him, like how they accept the new Captain America.
Oh, so you're putting this maybe the perception of others. So I would imagine that there are other people that may not necessarily be happy that Captain America is moving on.
And he's not even humble. Like, he's like big, he's flashy.
So you think that the arrogance that is exhibited by this new Captain America, you feel that that's like anti-Captain America?
Yeah, because how he tracked Red Wing to get to the flight.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like since he can't so how he can't just how Sam's like this big hero all around the army already,
right?
He feels like if he can swoop in on those fights, then he can be the hero, and Sam can be like put off to the side. So
you're thinking that he's coming in to swoop in and take credit for things that are being done by others.
Yeah, so he might not even give other people credit. He might give his best friend credit.
So maybe like a cheater.
Yeah.
He's trying to kind of cheat the system a bit.
Yep.
Okay, good perspective. I hear what you say about the lack of humility that he's exhibiting. He's not humble. He's not, just kind of soaking it in. But do you think, I'm going to ask you this question, do you think his lack of humility is due to him maybe trying to project this persona of being and overcoming his fear and anxiety of stepping into the shoes of something that he feels inadequate about fulfilling?
I think so, but what I also think is that since he's already pushing, like, Sam and the Winter Soldier away, but I feel like they could help him come up as this new persona, even though they might not want to. Like, he could learn from them.
Okay, so so are you saying that he could be part of the team but not just Captain America? Or are you saying that he can be Captain America but he just has to kind of find his way?
Like, he could be part of the team, but, like, he can't just be a copy of Captain America. He has to find his own self.
Okay, so you're saying you're saying that he should be a new superhero.
Yeah, because no one can replace Captain America.
Oh, so you're saying Captain America is retired for all for all years now? Or do you think that maybe like Sam, like I really thought that the Falcon would become the new Captain America, and
yeah, it's like passing the torch.
Yeah, I he kind of handpicked him because he had the virtue of being the next Captain America.
Yeah.
Where we're finding, and even Sam is like, it wasn't your decision to put that on me, and so Sam, I feel, also has maybe some things going on in his mind, like I didn't think that I could live up to
the new Captain America.
Right, I couldn't be the next Steve Rogers.
But also the Winter Soldier may be thinking like it was like a good choice, like he could be it.
So other people probably thought it was a good choice, but what we're finding is that
Sam doesn't think he could do it.
Well, and maybe he could, maybe he couldn't.
And at the end of the episode, where Sam gets put into jail because he missed a court mandate.
Well, that was the Winter Soldier. Bucky he missed his court-ordered counseling session with his therapist.
And then the Captain America always just has to come in.
Save the day, Emma.
Oh.
He saved the day. And now, granted, I think that what he's doing is he's trying to exude this confidence that he doesn't necessarily have. And since he doesn't have that, what's he trying to do? He's trying to overcompensate, right? So people overcompensate all the time, and I think that that's what we're seeing here is he's trying to overcompensate for his lack of. He's kind of doing that fake it till you make it kind of thing. Like I'm going to be super, passionate, and I'm going to, be loud and.
But there are so many things that can go wrong with doing that.
Like what?
Like.
Give me an example in your real life where you tried to fake it until you made it, or when you tried to
school
overcorrect.
School.
Okay, how so?
So you might not get this, so you might not get a problem, and you feel like, and then the teacher will ask, anyone have any questions? No one raise their hand, but you don't get it. So you feel like, well, if I don't want to look not smart.
Okay.
And so you don't raise your hand and you act like you know it when you really don't know what you're doing.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. I don't know if that's quite the same, but I hear what you're saying. Yes. You're talking about the anti-confidence, not having the confidence to be able to, articulate like when, the teacher says something about, well, does anybody have any questions? And you keep your hands in your pocket or sit on your hands and you don't say anything. I don't think that that's the same. I think, what could be is like if the teacher asks for volunteers to give a speech on a topic, you raise your hand and say, I got it, teach. You stand up and you go down in flames. And you have absolutely no. Now, granted, would you get a good laugh if, let's say, somebody in your class stood up and said, you know what, teach, I got this. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to dazzle you with my BS. And you don't even know what's in store for you. Would you get a good laugh out of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was confident, or she was confident, right?
Yeah.
So I think that that's what you're seeing with this Captain America. Like when they ask him the question, so do eagles fly overhead when you walk by? And he's like, yes, and flags wave majestically as I approach. So
it made me roll my eyes.
But I think that because before that you see him in the locker room almost about ready to puke because he doesn't quite know what the heck to do and what the heck's going on.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get into that role and be something for everyone.
Yeah, but when he runs, like when it's just him, the Falcon and Winter Soldier and his friend, he still overly produces that confidence.
Okay.
And he doesn't say, hey guys.
So give me an example of in your real life where you need to, so you just hit on a topic when you needed help to be able to ask for questions and ask for help. So you gave me an example in your real life where you don't do that. Give me an example in your real life where you should do that.
Where, you're in a situation and you don't exactly know what's going on and you don't feel safe, maybe.
Okay, but give me an example where that happened to you and you had to go up and you had to try to be confident and overcome your fear.
When I was presenting a project.
Okay, what project, Emma?
So basically we were still doing online school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had a group project to do, and we had to present it in front of the whole class. Thing is, I was the only one who did the work, and, I did most of the project by myself, and everyone got full credit.
Well, so everybody at least got full credit, right? But you had to overcome that fear and present that information
with my camera on.
With your camera on. Just imagine if you were in real life.
Cool.
Yeah, and imagine to the millions of people that are listening to your podcast right now.
I couldn't do it.
Well, so let's just, lack of better, let's just close our eyes for a minute, Emma. Everybody close your eyes. So you're in the middle of this this auditorium. You're standing at the podium. And right now, you and I are at two different podiums, and we're talking like I'm talking right now. Mm-hmm. And there are, let's say we're standing in the middle of like a football stadium, and there's thousands of people in this crowd, and and everybody's loving every word they're saying, Emma, 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 and they're just chanting your name.
And they're not chanting yours.
No, they're not chanting. They're not saying, Dad, Dad, Dad. So with that being said, all right, what do? Do you, you freeze? Do you overcome those fears? What do you do? Okay.
You try to overcome those fears. You try your hardest.
Okay.
And you ask for help when you need it.
Okay, but Captain America was overcoming his fear of being Captain America. So that the new Captain America, John Walker, was saying, you know what, world, I am going to be confident because you need somebody that's confident.
But he also needs help.
He needs help, yep. And I think that, he needs help. He realizes he needs help. And I think probably in the next episode or the third part or maybe the fourth part, we'll see that carry over into that next kind of, hey, I need help. I appreciate it, you guys. I'm way in over my head and I need help.
But at the end, where they were talking about how they should team up and do all this stuff, and they're like, well, you need all these authorization things, and we don't, since we're in a more flexible government. So it wouldn't be reasonable for us to team up. And then when they start walking away, he says, well, if we're not going to team up, then stay out of my way. Right.
So he's I think he's feeling like his feelings are hurt, right?
Yep.
He wanted to be part of the team, and by being part of the team, he thought he could, and he thought he could depend on the rest of the team. So they're in this. Have you ever studied, and this is maybe something that you need to study before we record the next episode, is group formation. Is like, how do we, form a group, and what do we do to form that group, and what stages do we go, from storming, forming, or conforming. And there's a couple, get to operating a functional group? And I think that maybe you need to look at that, because I think especially as somebody that finds herself to be a leader, and really thinks that she should be maybe student body president. What do you mean? That maybe you can see kind of some of the struggles they're going through, but we talk about how we got the villains, we got the good guys, we got the bad guys, we got the fight continues on. So Emma, one of the things that I think that you and I need to come up with, since you're deciding that we need to review these things and talk about these things, is what's your rating scale? As somebody that is Fearless Emma, what's Fearless Emma's rating scale? So Siskel and Ebert used to have thumbs up, like it's 1 thumb up or 2 thumbs up or 1 thumb down. You've got, people do, it's a 3-star, it's a 4-star, it's 5-star.
I do thumbs.
Well, no, you got to come up with your own.
But that's what I do on my own. Like, you gotta come up with something. Like, what is unique to you? Like, how would you? Percentages.
No, you've got to it's got to be 1 Emma, 2 Emma, 3 Emma kind of thing. Like, how would you rate something? So, how would you think? Like, what do you think would be a good rating scale for you to come up with in order to better evaluate? Because if you're going to tell somebody to watch an episode, or you're going to, if it's like a scale from 1 to 5, what is it? I think about the different things that you have in your life. Is it like 1 jelly bean, 2 jelly bean? I mean, come on, let's come up with a rating scale, Emma. 1 Chick-fil-A sandwich or half a Chick-fil-A sandwich? I mean, or you got to come up with something. So think about it. Think about what your unique rating scale could be. If you're going to rate something, what's a unique rating scale that we could say Emma has this unique rating scale, right?
I don't know.
So think about it, and I think that as you think about it more, we'll have it ready for our next episode. So
I'm gonna count on it.
What do you mean you wouldn't count on it?
It takes me a little bit.
So gone is that confidence that we just talked about, that you kind of need to be able to talk about things to be able to make them happen. Because if you think about it and you kind of think about it in your mind, maybe it'll happen, right?
Yeah.
So all right. So Emma, the episode concludes, and we see that
we're left on another cliffhanger.
Bucky and Sam are now going to go talk to a criminal in prison.
I think it might be from Hydra.
Well, that's what they said. They're going to go talk to him. They're going to talk to somebody from Hydra.
It might be the leader.
Well, I don't know if it's the leader, but I do think
it's probably one of the bigger persons.
It's probably somebody that has some input that can probably help them, right? So we'll see how things go.
But you never know. He might give them false info.
So Emma, do you have anything else to add? I mean, you definitely still have a problem with this current Captain America.
Oh, I hate him still.
Well, I think it's just him trying to overcome any challenges that he sees, and he's just trying to be part of the team.
But he still needs to have that humanity. His
humanity. There you go. Humility. But
he thinks he's above all of them, like everyone.
Well, we'll see as time goes on what this looks like. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I think that you're still struggling a bit with it.
I don't like it.
Like so many in America are struggling with this new Captain America. So we'll see. All right, Emma. Well, let's transition a bit. So stay tuned for our next reviews of parts 3, parts 4, parts 5, part 6. After we get through this, after we get through the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I've actually got some treats for you. In some of these upcoming episodes that I think you and I are going to have some fun with.
Don't give any spoilers.
Oh, you don't even know.
But I thought you told me.
Nope, I haven't told you what's coming after this.
Something like movies.
Nope. I'm going to tell you what's coming, but I'll tell you later. How's that sound?
I want to know now.
Oh, well, I'm going to leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger.
Is it where we watch all your childhood movies?
How about we just leave you on a cliffhanger, Emma?
I can't handle it.
So, all right, Emma, sit. We need to sit and face each other for this next part. Because we are now in our favorite part of the show. We're going to make that transition from
the jokes.
And we're gonna tell some wonderful dad jokes. My jokes are brought to you by the Reader's Digest, Dumb Dad Jokes, on sale, at least it was on sale at Target. I got 20% off the cover, but
mine's off of Pinterest.
Emma's is off of Pinterest, so I really hope that they are age appropriate, and I really hope that they are.
I looked up kid dad jokes.
Okay, all right. So let's see who wins this round of the dad jokes. And I'm going to tell you something, Emma. I won last round. So, here we go. I should go first.
No, I'll go first. You went first last time.
All right, here we go.
I have a fear of speed bumps, but I'm slowly getting over them.
No.
All right.
You're trying to hold back the laugh on that one.
No, I'm not.
So, I think it counts if you laugh at your own joke.
I haven't laughed.
You were smiling really
Smiling
big.
Doesn't count.
All right, here we go,
big.
Emma.
You always ask.
All right, ready?
All right.
Why did the Pope cross the road? Look at me. Why did the Pope cross the road?
Why?
It's Easter, right? Because he crosses everything. That's a laugh. Yep.
I did not laugh.
You did.
I'm
You did. It
confused.
was like,
No.
that's one. That's one. I'm counting it.
I'm not.
All right.
Okay, then.
All right. Everybody that listens, you can hear Emma go.
No.
You can hear the breathy laugh. All right.
I didn't laugh.
I'm counting that as one. Cheater.
Well, then I count
Cheater.
that as one.
Cheater.
You're a cheater.
Cheater. All right. You're up next, Emma.
What did the Dalmatians say after lunch?
What did the Dalmatians say after lunch? Where's dinner?
That hit the spot.
Nope. Almost. I almost laughed. That was good. I almost laughed. I smiled really big.
Yeah, you did. So close. I was proud of that one too.
All right, here we go. Why is it that batteries are better than men, Emma? Actually, I would say, why is it that batteries are better than women, Emma?
Really? Why is it?
Because at least they have a positive side.
Well, that's just...
Are you trying to talk so that way you don't laugh?
No, because if I talk, then I might laugh.
That was really good, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm still winning, cheater.
I didn't laugh yet.
I'm still winning, cheater. All right.
I did not laugh yet. What do you call a dinosaur that is sleeping?
A sleeposaurus?
A dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
You're holding back a laugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, interesting. All right, Emma. How is a cheap violin like a jury trial?
I have no idea.
Everyone sighs with relief when the case is closed.
Wait, what was it?
Never mind. Moving on.
Can a kangaroo jump higher than the Empire State Building?
I don't know. Can it?
Of course, because the Empire State Building can't jump.
Well, that wasn't really funny.
Seriously?
All right, here we go. Emma, what part of the fish weighs the most?
What? The whole thing?
The scales.
That doesn't make sense.
Never mind. Keep moving on.
Because I was right.
I'm still winning, cheater.
I did not laugh yet.
Okay, cheater. Oh, there's another one. That's two, folks. That's two.
It wasn't a joke yet. You didn't,
Okay.
It wasn't.
Sure.
It wasn't a joke.
Okay, cheater. Three. We're winning.
Stop calling me a cheater.
Ding, ding, Okay, here we go.
All right. Why did the dinosaur cross the road?
Well, to get to the other side, of course.
Because the chicken wasn't born yet.
That was pretty bad. That wasn't funny at all.
You're mean. I was proud of that one.
Hey, Emma. Why wouldn't they let the butterfly into the dance?
Why?
Because it wasn't a mothball. You weren't looking at me, so it didn't get. I was unable to deliver the punchline appropriately.
No, you weren't.
So, all right, one more each. One more each, Emma.
Okay, you go first.
Nope. You're first. You don't have another one, do you?
I got one. How did Benjamin Franklin feel when he discovered electricity?
Shocked. Oh wow, I got that.
Yeah.
Wow, that must mean that is a very bad joke. So,
It was an obvious joke, that's why.
well, but you did like my men or a women joke, I guess.
I didn't laugh.
You did.
Did not laugh.
You thought it was funny.
I did
so
not laugh.
you didn't.
I'm at 0.
No, cheater. You're at like 3.
No, I'm at 0 because I laughed when you called me cheater, but you didn't say a joke, so.
All right. Here we go. How do you get down from an elephant, Emma?
How?
You don't. You don't get down from a goose.
What?
I don't know. I didn't understand that one either. But, Emma, I think that I won that round.
No, I won that round.
Well, Emma, don't be a hater. Don't, you know.
I had two close attempts.
I smiled really big on one.
On 2 of them. You smirked and you were trying so hard to keep it down.
All right, folks, listen back to this podcast. Comment on our social media posts. Which jokes did you laugh at the hardest? And were they Dad's or are they Emma's? And I'm going to tell you something, that Emma cannot deliver a punchline to save her life, where Dad is amazing. And we'll leave it there. I really think that I won because Emma's cheating. And so we'll see how things go moving on. Everybody's going to hear Emma, after I told that first joke, Emma go,
I did not.
yeah, she did. I heard it over here, and I'm sitting across the room, Emma. So we got that. All right, Emma.
I just commented on a recent post that I did.
Oh, so she's on social media. So, folks, you can find us at fearless_Emma or Fearless Emma, the podcast, I believe, on Instagram. You can check out our Twitter handle. We have Twitter. We have Twitter too. So
we have Facebook.
We have Facebook, so you can find us at Fearless Emma, the podcast on Facebook, where a lot of these things get posted. We're also on YouTube, so if you're listening to us on YouTube, provide us a comment. Say whose joke you laughed at the hardest, or whose jokes you laughed at the hardest. And
they're just gonna be filled with Emma.
And maybe if you listen to this episode, as we talked about it earlier as we were reviewing The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, maybe they can give you examples of when they had what they did to overcome their fear and anxiety of doing different things to exhibit that confidence. What do you think? Do you think that maybe we could have, people that listen to our show give us examples in their real life where they have to exhibit confidence when they're scared to do so?
Yep.
So if you listen to this podcast, like I know so many of you do, please.
Posted about it since
not
the
this
last
one. Oh, I posted. So we'll post a comment. We'll post a question. The question's going to be, Emma, give us an example of your life that you had to exhibit confidence even though you were scared or you had fear or anxiety to do so.
You want me to list them right now?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I know where you have some, and we can talk about that a bit later.
I have social anxiety sometimes.
Yeah, well, not really, but there's
sometimes.
that. Yeah.
I hate being in crowded places.
But that's going to be our question for the week. So I'm going to post that on Fearless Emma, the Facebook, whatever.
Instagram.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Twitter.
We'll see. So, tell us about a time where you had to exhibit confidence in the face of fear.
When I had to talk to people.
When facing fear, when did give us an example?
When I had to talk to people.
Yeah. Well, Emma, I think that we're able to conclude today's podcast on a high note because I won.
No, you did not.
So,
I didn't even laugh.
We all know you lost.
I did not laugh.
So, folks, if you really value, granted, you're probably going to say Emma won just so you don't hurt her feelings, but
I did not laugh. It's telling the truth.
See, look, she's even laughing at these jokes right now.
I am not laughing. I am smiling.
Yeah, because she knows she lost, and that's typically what losers do, right, Emma?
No, it's what because they act like they didn't.
Winner.
No, I'm the winner here.
Yeah.
You smiled and laughed. I could see it. You held your microphone all the way out when you laughed.
No, I sure didn't, folks.
Yeah, you laughed really quietly and held your microphone all the way out.
Folks, I think that Emma's full of BS today. And let's just be honest. Dad really ran away with this today. And Emma's holding that mic out as far as she possibly can. And she's holding her hand over her mouth. So that way you don't hear her laugh.
I'm not laughing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Folks, what do you think? You be the honest judge of this. So I'm going to tell you right now, I won.
You did not win. I won.
All right, we're just going to keep going back and forth, folks. You don't need to hear how Emma try to talk about how bad she lost. So
I did not lose. I won.
with that, folks, we're going to conclude this episode. Please check us out on our social media platforms at
Fearless_Emma.
Emma on Instagram, and then also on Facebook and Twitter. We'll post the question to today's podcast is, when have you had to try to exhibit confidence? Give us examples of when you were scared to do so and had to maybe overcome that anxiety, just like Captain America is trying to do right now.
No, he's not Captain America. He's his name. I don't remember his name, but he's not Captain America.
And with that being said, we're going to close this episode. Thanks for listening. And everybody, have a great night and have a very happy Easter. And Emma?
Bye-bye.